Y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood panda here. Welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, I'm gonna let you know that this is a reaction channel, but it's a little bit different. See, in each episode, I'm gonna give you 2 videos for the price of 1. We're gonna listen to an original song followed by a cover of that song, and then we're gonna compare and contrast the 2. Now, before we do that, there's a few things we gotta remember. First of all, these episodes are going to be largely analysis rather than first true time reactions because I may have actually seen one or both, either the original or the cover of the song or both. So you're not always going to get a real first time reaction. We're mostly going to be analyzing between the 2, their stylistic choices, their arrangements, the vocal parts, things like that. That being said, it being an analysis channel, I'm going to be pausing probably a lot. You see, in order to give you my opinions and thoughts on things, I got to give them to you right away or I'm going to forget all about them. The struggle is real, y'all. So there's going to be pausing. There's probably going to be a lot of pausing. I apologize in advance. If you want to see the complete and uninterrupted versions of the videos we watched today, I'm going to leave their links in the description below. Something else very important to remember, the opinions expressed about these videos are just that. They're my opinions. Let's all be kind to one another, and we're just here to listen to music and have fun, okay? All that being said, if you enjoy what happens here today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, maybe even that notification bell so you know when I post next. And if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next, comment down below. Put the song, the original writer or singer of said song, and then a cover of that song that you want me to watch, and I'll put it on the list. Just be aware, y'all, I only do viewer requests once a week, and I got a whole list going on here, so it may take me a minute to get to you, but I'll put it on the list. I will get to you. All right. Now, today, we're going to be listening to a rock classic, Aerosmith's Dream On. This is one of those that I'm sort of aging myself. I remember it very well. And I also remember, when you look at the video that we're going to see, up in the corner there's the MTV logo. How many people remember when you wanted to catch a new music video, you had to wait till it came on MTV? And then if you wanted to keep it and watch it again, you had to record it with a VCR and a VHS tape. But we're not going to talk about that. It's such a classic, and it is so iconic that it has been covered many, many, many times, specifically by Voiceplay, which is the cover we're going to listen to today. They are an a cappella group, and so we're going to really have an interesting time seeing the difference between what they do and what Aerosmith did with it originally with his electric guitars and all those other kinds of things. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to Aerosmith's version of Dream On. Now, first, there's that classic opening, all right? You've got that classic melody line going in there, but also it has an entire orchestra behind it. I mean, I hear an oboe and I hear a clarinet back there and some strings, for heaven's sake. It's very soft, it's very ethereal right now, but it makes it full sounding. There's an entrance coming in on a flying piano. It's Steven Tyler. It's got to be drama. He pulls it off, though.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone. Like dust to dawn. Isn't that the way? Everybody ought to do it like a pay. Oh, you know it's true, man.
All right, before we get to that build up here, Steven Tyler has an interesting juxtaposition with his voice here. He starts very softly and very tender, but he still has that little bit of a rasp, that rock edge to his voice. It doesn't go away, but he is being very delicate with it. So it's a very captivating sound. Let's move up just a little bit so we can catch the end of that and then the build up.
Dust to dawn. Isn't that the way? Everybody ought to do it like a pay. Oh, you know it's true, man. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know it's ever medicine. You got to lose to know how to win.
That's one way to elevate the song. The entire orchestra is building up behind him, which allows him to do that screaming rock tenor up there with seemingly very little effort. He doesn't seem like he's straining at all. Again, that is a very difficult thing to do and not hurt yourself. I'm going to repeat this over and over again. Be very careful if you're going to try something like that, because you will hurt yourself if you're not doing it properly. Those vocal folds are very, very delicate. You gotta watch that. All right. But he allows the orchestra to build him up and to kind of lift him while he's getting ready to do that. So he doesn't have to strain too hard to begin with. And he just kind of lets it stream out of his mouth without much trouble at all.
Hear my lives in books, written pages. Live and learn from fools and from sages. You know it's true. All the things you do, pretty mama, will come back to you. Sing wheeling, sing for the year, sing for land, sing for the deer. I sing wheeling, it's just for the day, maybe tomorrow, good love take you away.
Listen again to that build up, how it just becomes so very full and positive. It soars and it elevates so much in the feeling of the song with that full orchestra behind him. I don't think it would have quite been the same if he hadn't made that choice, or whoever wrote and arranged this song. I don't think that it would have been the same if they hadn't made that choice to have the orchestra in there with it, adding to this fullness of the sound.
You know it's true. All the things you do, pretty mama, will come back to you. Sing wheeling, sing for the year, sing for land, sing for the deer. I sing wheeling, it's just for the day, maybe tomorrow.
Listen again to that verse right there. See how clean he has those cutoffs on those notes. Year, tear. He's very clean with it. It doesn't sound like it's clipped or cut off, but it doesn't bleed into the next line. It's very precise. I love that.
Sing wheeling, sing for the year, sing for land, sing for the deer. I sing wheeling, it's just for the day, maybe tomorrow, good love take you
one of the most recognizable guitar solos there ever was. If you have any kind of rock enthusiasm, if you listen to classic rock of any kind, this is one of those guitar solos that as soon as it starts playing, you know what song it's from and what part of the song. Pick out the orchestra elements in this song. There's one point where the bells come through and chime to the same rhythm that his words are coming out. Then you've got those strings just sawing in the background. Just it's bigger than life, this whole thing. Okay, that right there, that is the part of the song that everybody, when someone does a cover, everybody listens because they want to know how they're going to do that. No lie, there's a lot you can do it with it because Steven Tyler's basically screaming on key here. But it's very difficult to replicate because he has a very distinctive sound to his voice. Again, audibly, he doesn't sound like he's straining to do it. And when he does that, it sounds much more forward placed to me than your usual screaming kind of tone, which usually comes from back here and way back here. It sounds like it's coming much more nasal from him. And so it's very difficult. It sounds like it's something very difficult to replicate. And anytime someone does, they don't quite make it. The number of things that Steven Tyler and Aerosmith and whoever wrote and arranged this song managed to do new and exciting and turn into staples of rock music. There are just so many things. Cannot have a big rock song like that without a giant cymbal. I'm sure you can, but not this one. You have to get an extra hand. Oh, wow. Okay. That, as I said before, the number of things that Steven Tyler and Aerosmith and whoever wrote and arranged this song managed to fit into one song that were new and exciting and became absolute staples and icons of rock music from that point on. It's absolutely incredible. Whew. We're gonna have to take a breath. I need something to drink. After that, because whoo, that was intense. Well, now we're going to listen to Voiceplay's version of Dream On. This is an entirely a cappella band. They may have done a little bit of effects and some mastering on their vocals and things like that in post-production, but they made all the original sounds with just their voices. So it's going to be interesting to listen and compare the kinds of things that they had to do to make this song effective. I have heard it before, but it's been a while. So we're going to listen to it. There we go.
Every time I look in the mirror, all these
right off the bat, they started a little bit different. Music today, you have to catch somebody's attention right away. And so they chose to kind of reverse things. Rather than start with the instrumental opening, they went ahead and started with the first verse right away here with Ellie. Ellie has that rock tenor that I think is just perfect to pay homage to Steven Tyler in this particular song. I think it's just perfect.
Every time I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dusk and dawn.
Now, the next thing the way they made it interesting was to split up the parts and then to add layers of harmonies as they went along. They started just with Ellie, all right, and then they added in Caesar as a harmony part just below his. And then they added in, as they slid up to that note as Steven Tyler does in the original, they added not only the two of them together, but they added a third voice. And somehow they managed to all slide up and reach the same note at the end and let Omar do his thing at the end of the line without clashing against each other. That's pretty impressive.
It went by like dusk and dawn.
And then there's Jeff.
Isn't that the way? Isn't that the way? Everybody's got their dues in life to pay. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know it's everybody's sin. You got to lose to know how to win.
Now, up until this point, again, they kept just to their voices, and they've added some of the depth and fullness by adding harmonies, not only with the lines of the song, the lyrics, but with some ooze in the background, adding just a little bit more fullness and depth to it. Now they're adding in instruments by adding in Lane's percussion there, and then Jeff's doos in the background imitating a bass guitar.
Oh, how to win. Half my life's in books, written pages. Live to learn from fools and sages. You know it's true.
Yeah, everybody says, "Oh, there's no bass line." There's no bass line in Dream On. Jeff's just like, watch this.
All the things you do come back to you. Sing with
And that's a neat way to modernize it. It somehow works when they add that stutter in the line on 2, and then they add the camera shake in there. So it modernizes it while still keeping with the emotion and the rock vibe of the whole thing.
come back to you. Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me just for today. Maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
There it goes again.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream until your dreams come true.
Ah, that's where they put it. This is how another way they changed it up, because I said at the beginning you got to catch somebody's attention nowadays. So they started off with the melody line rather than the original's instrumental introduction. This is where they put it. They switched it around so that they're giving us a little time to breathe. They built up quite a lot through that last verse and chorus, and now they're giving us a chance to stop and breathe and rest up for whatever's going to come next. That was pretty genius. Here we go.
Dream on, dream on, dream on.
There it was. There's that part everybody is always looking for, okay? Those high notes. Now, there's a lot to unpack here with how they did this. The gentleman on screen, Jeff Castellucci, the bass, he arranged this, and I think he did a couple of genius things right here. Not only did he split the high notes into 3 parts instead of one solo, so that he could allow a lot more depth and fullness to the sound by having 3 harmonies up on that high part. But he also put a bass line of his own down there to give a huge contrast that only enhanced those high notes by the contrast that it was giving and the foundation that it had. So listen just a little bit again here before they go. And I dare you, can you guess which of the 3 gentlemen in the middle, which of the 3 tenors is doing the highest of the high notes?
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, now.
Did you guess? I have listened to this band many, many times before, and even I couldn't figure it out. They are so well blended, and the mastering and the editing is so well done that I couldn't tell until somebody else told me. Caesar, down here on the right with his mohawk, he's the one that did that G-sharp 5. Y'all, that's high. All right. But again, they are all 3 of these gentlemen are so well blended that you just couldn't tell almost. It's impressive and quite frankly mind-boggling how they managed to do that.
Every time I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone.
I love that ending, how it allowed you to, again, take a breath and kind of bask in the fullness and the harmonies that they were giving you there at the end. It allowed you to just, I don't know, sit back and revel in the loveliness that you just heard. Both of these versions are truly remarkable in that the original created some iconic elements that are still carried through rock music now, and the voice play version was completely a cappella and was able to give you the same experience but still make it their own. So I love these two, y'all. I am so glad that you came to hang out and watch these with me today. If you enjoyed what we did here today, hit the like button, subscribe please, and hit the notification bell so you can tell when I'm going to post next. And if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in future, put comments down below. Y'all have a good day, night, evening, happy time zones wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.